And there's also an amount in respect of $7,646 for electricity.
I don't dispute that because there were several units and we basically cleared everyone's electricity. So I don't dispute that.
Okay, very well. Now, you accept also that the proceeds of sale would have been made in 3 separate payments,
correct.
Yes? One to National Bank to clear off the indebtedness on the mortgage, and then 2 other payments,
correct.
right? Okay. Now, who received the proceeds of the sale?
The proceeds of the sale went in accounts for all 3 Nichols' name.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's basically what I wanted to ask you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah. I can't hear you.
May I just ask 1 or 2 quick questions of you, and I won't keep you for too long. Taking up the last question, which I didn't quite hear the answer, did you say that the proceeds of the sale, the 3 checks that were sent, paid by the government, were paid into an account with 3 signatories, your mother, yourself, and your brother? Is that right?
The first one was paid into the loan account to clear the mortgage. The second one was paid into account at Scotiabank with all 3 signatures. And the third one was paid, I think, into National Bank.
And into whose account at the National Bank?
Every account that has my mother's name has my brother and myself.
So it's an account held in 3 names. Is that correct?
Yes, but my mother is basically the principal account holder. But we are basically on her accounts.
It had your name and your brother's name and your mother's name on the account. It was a joint account. Is that correct?
You could say that, yeah.
Is it correct to say the account was in 3 names or 1 name?
The accounts are in 3 names.
The account was in 3 names. You're sure about that?
Yes, but okay, let me explain something. Everything that my mother owns is in her name, and both of us are basically on it. But it's not like we could go and take off without her. It's in 3 of our names.
Yeah.
That's basically it.
So it might have been in her name only, but she held it, if you like, on your behalf and on your brother's behalf. Would that be right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Thanks for that. Secondly, you mentioned that the shopping mall, first of all, just remind me, how many shops were there in the mall?
1 second. I think it's 16.
And there was a supermarket at the back, I think?
Yeah, we owned a supermarket.
Right. Now, you mentioned that there was some commercial interest in buying the mall.
Correct.
Now, when did that emerge?
When did it, excuse me?
When did that start? When did it emerge?
That emerged sometime in 1997 when there were 2 investors interested in the property. There was already a deal going through, a deposit was already made, and Mr. Daniel was actually one of the agents for those investors. So he has quite a bit of knowledge on this transaction.
But it didn't go through, did it?
It didn't go through. Some legal matters with the investors, they went back to the States.
Well,
but the mall was not closed for 2 years either, as was stated.
no, let me
It was
come on
only closed
to
for 2
that.
months.
But the deal fell through for some unspecified legal reason. Now, did you tell council that you had, in anticipation of that deal going through, given notice to quit to the existing tenants?
Correct.
That's right.
Correct.
So somewhere there'll be a documentary record of those notices.
I didn't hear you.
Somewhere there'll be a record of the notices you gave those tenants.
Somewhere in the record?
Yeah.
I assume, but this was 11 years ago, so I don't have that.
So are you telling us then that the people who were trading at the 16 shops, and I think your mother had one shop, didn't she, or two?
No, we own more than one shop there.
Right. But for those that weren't owned by your family, none of them left because they couldn't make any money there. They left because they were given notice to quit by the landlord, yourselves. Is that right?
Yes, but they were given adequate time, so it wasn't like a problem to them.
I'm sorry, I
They
didn't
were
hear-
given adequate time.
What was given at the correct time?
I don't remember. I can't hear you.
Forgive me, if you speak into the microphone, I can hear you. Now, let's go back. I think you told council that your mother gave notice to quit to the tenants. First of all, is that correct?
That's correct.
That is correct. Secondly, therefore, everybody who left Marion Heights left because they received a notice to quit, not because they weren't making any money or didn't.
That's correct.
And until that time, all of them were paying their rents properly. Is that right?
That's not correct, but we were able to recover the rents. That's not correct.
It's not correct.
No.
How many of them weren't paying their rent?
I don't remember.
Is that because there are too many or too few?
Sir, to be honest, this was 11 years ago. I don't remember that.
No, I do appreciate that, absolutely, of course I do. But, you see, we've heard that Marion Heights was not a great commercial success. That's the evidence we've received so far.
That's the opinion of some people.
Yeah, I want to get to the facts, not the opinions. So that's what they've told us. Now, and as a result, we've been told that the property was empty at the time the government bought it.
Correct.
Now, we've heard evidence this morning that that was the case, and you don't deny that. How long had it been empty?
By my estimations, somewhere late 97, early 98. I cannot be exact.
So really, 8 or 9 months?
For some months.
Yes. Had any of the shops been vacant for longer than that?
Had any of the shops what?
Had any of the shops been vacant, did not have a tenant for longer than that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Because it's one thing to say that it's empty because there's nobody there, but before 8 months there might have been 1 tenant or 2 tenants or 3 tenants, not 16. Do you see my point?
Yeah, I see your point. But
So-
I don't remember how many tenants were there at the time of
Yeah.
closure.
So it's possible that some may have ceased to be tenants before
That's
8 months.
possible.
Yeah. Right. Can you help us a little bit on what the problem was with the sale to the investors?
Could you repeat, please?
Sorry, what was the problem that frustrated your deal with this group of investors that wanted to buy Marion Heights?
What was the problem?
Yeah, why didn't they go ahead?
Apparently, the investors had some legal trouble, and they went back to the States.
But are you aware what was...
I'm not privy to exactly what happened with
So
them.
they just said, we've got a legal problem and we're not going to buy. And they didn't tell you what it was.
Ours was not the only property they were buying at the time. They were buying several properties.
Sorry, several parties?
Several properties. Ours was not the only one.
I see. So it'd be fair to say they took on the other properties in preference to Marion Heights.
No, they made deposits on the others too. The deal didn't go through with them
So
either.
they gave Nevis a pass.
Excuse me?
They gave Nevis a pass, not just Marion Heights.
Well,
Okay.
I have no idea.
All right.